How you going, everybody? It's Nick here. So I went down to the shop today to get my coffee, and oh boy, what an experience it was. This guy at the servo was an absolute idiot. I don't know the word I can put it, but he is a defected person. Now, he has told me that there is a 90 to 95% chance the world is flat. Okay, okay, a flat earther. Great. Another one of those idiots. You know what he said to me? I told him that it's going to be a hot one today. He goes, no, it's not. I said, yeah, it's going to be a hot one today. He goes, hot where? I said, here, Brisbane. He goes, you mean Australia? I said, yeah, Australia. He goes, you know you live in a country that's not, like, existing, right? I said, what do you mean? He goes, Australia doesn't exist. I said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, look around us. I said, we're in a 7-Eleven. I said, this 7-Eleven is located in Australia. I said, where are you from? He goes, I'm from India. I was like, well, if you're from India, obviously when you come to Australia, you booked a flight that said Australia. So if Australia didn't exist, then why would don't know, I just can't wrap my head around stupid people. He booked a flight to Australia. And do you know what his comment to that was? Yeah, he goes, when I moved here, he goes, I felt the blood rush to my head. I was like, what do you mean by that? He goes, you live in the land down under. He goes, we're all upside down, right? I said, okay. I said, okay. I said, we're upside down. But I said, you just said Australia doesn't exist. He goes, it doesn't. I said, well, what are we? I said, we upside down or we don't exist? He goes, we're in a simulation. I was like, oh, here we go. Another one of these idiots. I said, what do you mean a simulation? Then he refers back to Grand Theft Auto. He goes, do you know Grand Theft Auto? I was like, yes, I know Grand Theft Auto because I play that all the time. And he goes, you know when you play Grand Theft Auto and you drive to different places and you can see in the skyline it's rendering? I was like, yeah. He goes, that's what Australia is doing. He goes, when you drive, it's rendering. He goes, do you know what's behind the servo? I said, yeah, there's a school and shopping centre. He goes, no, it's not. He goes, there's nothing behind the servo. He goes, there's nothing until you walk behind that servo. He goes, once you walk behind this servo, he goes, it's going to render. And then it's there. But I just said, well, okay. But I said, you just said Australia doesn't exist. He goes, it doesn't. And then now we're back at square one. Well, if it doesn't exist, then the shopping centre behind the servo doesn't exist. The kindy over there doesn't exist. I don't exist. This coffee that I'm holding doesn't exist. This card that I'm paying the coffee with doesn't exist. He goes, exactly. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I said, what happens when you walk to the edge of the earth? I said, what happens? He goes, no matter what, he goes, the earth's flat. He goes, no matter what you do, he goes, you can walk as far as you want, but he goes, you'll never reach the edge. I said, yeah, that's exactly right, because you're going around in a circle. He goes, no, he goes, because the government, it's a lie. He goes, I can't remember the word he said, but he goes, no matter how much you go towards the edge, there's a wall. He said, there's a wall. And he goes, you can't get over that wall. And I was like, oh, here we go. Meanwhile, this other guy in the server has been listening to the conversation this whole time. And then he just yells out in the middle of shopping, like in the middle of the servo, with other people making their coffees and all that. He just yells out and goes, shut up, you stupid idiot. He goes, you don't know what you're talking about. He goes, if you don't like Australia, he goes, off. He goes, mate, he goes, I'm just telling you the truth. He goes, mate, he goes, you don't have the right to use the word mate. He goes, I have every right. He goes, I live in Australia. And he turns around, he's yelling out from the back of the sofa where the fridges are. He goes, you live in Australia? He goes, you just told this guy that it doesn't exist. He goes, make up your mind. And at this point, I've just had enough. So I've just walked out the servo. I went to my car. And now I'm watching these two in the servo argue. Like, literally, how stupid can people be? Like, if you believe the world's flat, fair enough. I don't care. You can be one of those people. If you believe Australia doesn't exist, I don't care. You can be one of those people. I don't care. Alright, I live in Australia. I know it exists. The world is a nice big circle. I know that. So if anyone, look, I'm going to leave this up to the comments. So have a great day, everybody. I'm out.